There it is. It's out there now.
Woo! What's up, boys? We are back.
All right. Welcome in, everybody. We are doing something a little different tonight. And because of that, I'm a little extra excited. Like I always get excited to hang out with Jared. I always get excited to hang out with Nick. But tonight, I'm a little extra excited because the way we did this, normally we stop and we go through entire games, which there's some great, great value in that. That's how you should watch film. However, tonight, to streamline the process, to make sure that we're giving you the best information as quick as possible, we have actually ahead of time picked out specific plays where that highlights the special traits about some of these players and the things that might be a little bit of a cause for concern. And so we have that all ready to go. So we don't have to worry about these plays where it's like, oh, what happened there? Oh, never mind. Like, don't worry about the play. We don't have to do that now. We just get to go straight to exactly what we want to talk about. I'm excited. Nick, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I think that this is going to be really valuable stuff, more so in this format. And I think more people are now they're getting out of their rookie drafts and they're gearing more towards next year. And there's so much hype with these two guys. It's gonna be fun. I want to see what you guys think about them. I already looked at them a little bit, so I think it's gonna be pretty exciting. And then plus we'll have people commenting, so I'm pretty excited to get into them.
Jared, how about you, buddy?
I'm pumped. We got two Bolitnikoff finalists. Jamar Chase, of course, won that award last year. So I think Mel Kiper projected both of these guys to go in the top 10 of the draft next year. So we're going to see if he's right about that. I'm not sure. But I'm really excited about this format. We're taking some of the feedback that we got on our YouTube videos and stuff from you guys. So we appreciate that. Just trying to make the show better however we can. Still keeping it laid back. Still just hanging out. So if anybody saw my tweet earlier, let me know what you're sipping on. I got some Woodford Reserve. You guys drinking
Woodford.
anything tonight?
No, I ran this evening,
Just
so
water.
I'm not doing that. Hey, question: you mentioned Mel Kiper. Have either of you
Kiper.
guys bought his draft guide? Have you guys ever bought it?
Not even know he sold one.
Is it good?
I mean, it used to be like the only one,
Sure.
and now he's more of like a personality. But him and his wife are the only ones that work on it, and it's like this.
Really?
It's like
His
blue,
wife helps
yeah,
him? That's cool.
yep. It's like
That's
this
super
blue, like draft Bible basically. And every year, the first one I got was like in 1994. I still remember
Of
that.
course you did. Of course you did.
Dude, this is my thing. That's why I love doing this.
Dude,
That's
I
why I'm
used to
excited
go
to do
to
it with you.
Borders and buy like those thick magazines and stuff for like right before fantasy football
Yep.
season.
Oh, but they're so bad. As you know now you're in the industry and
Yeah.
stuff, like
Things
it's not
change
even
so
as good as.
fast.
Yep.
Well, I think you even knew that then. Like you just didn't care because there was nothing else. Like you
Right.
even read it and you're like, that guy's not the starter anymore. What the heck? But that was all we had. So
Mhm.
So we had
We sucked
a
it.
bunch of new people just join the stream. In case you weren't here at the very beginning, we cut up specific plays that we liked on each of these players tonight instead of going
Okay.
through entire games. So you guys want to get this started? We got Jamar Chase here.
Let's get it going.
Yep. Little shout out to Phil. What's up, Phil?
What up, Phil? All right. And hold on.
All right. That's how we like to start.
Yeah. Wait, so tell me a little bit more about Chase because we have some technical difficulties with the video.
It's all good. Nick, you were saying some interesting things about Chase before we started. Why don't you talk about him for a little bit?
Yeah, I think there's a Chase right now after viewing him, and not, most of the time I want to look at like 6 to 8 games or so. I'm only a few games in, but I think he's getting a little tad overrated right now. He has some explosiveness. He has, and I know the number, one, isn't the number to think three, but he's got some similarities, I think, to like an OBJ. Good ball skills, not huge. He's got that springy athleticism in his game. But he has some flaws to his game too that we're going to talk about. So I think he's going to be an interesting guy that right now the numbers in that system. I mean, Jefferson was crazy too with his numbers. I think kind of overinflated him. He's still a good talent, but I just don't think he's this superstar that's untouchable. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Jared.
let's start the video here just because.
Right.
Sorry, Nick. I don't know. It's been weird tonight with the software here, so I don't want it to freeze again. But we got Jamar Chase lined up on the top here. Looks like he's on one-on-one with this cornerback. Just hits him with the slant route here.
Mm-hmm.
Nice catch on a ball that's behind him.
Yep.
With this too, I forgot to mention this. We each specifically watched 2 games, and so we picked out plays. So like this one's one of Jared's games that he watched, so he'll probably be talking a little more about this game. And so whichever ones we watched, we'll probably be talking a little more. Doesn't mean the other ones won't chime in, but we'll kind of give the first take to whoever's game it was. So just so you guys can understand the format a little bit better.
Yeah, so I thought, this is an okay route. Not great. Could have been probably more sudden, but as you can see here, he's just a really good athlete, has great hands, and he's terrific after the catch. He's always seeming to break a tackle or two.
I like that on this. It was thrown behind him, but then he still had the athleticism to still keep that momentum going forward and not spin all the way around. That takes some skill and some balance as well. Because it's right there. It's easy for him to turn back. You know what I mean? But he knows that's where the opening is, so he keeps working his way there.
And Jared, you had a perfect spot where you stopped. Look how quickly he got his head back around to be able to see where the defender was for that, yards after the catch there. He's looking right away. Okay, where am I at? How close is he? Where can I get? So that's great awareness on his part.
Yep. Good balance too.
Yep.
So here we see him lined up in the slot. We'll let it run here first.
Another one slightly behind him.
Yeah, just a post route. Gets in there behind, but I just wanted to highlight
Those wheels.
Yeah, just that second gear that he has, or third gear even, to outrun the coverage on guys that had an angle.
One thing before that I like, Jared, is that one big thing about being a receiver is you want to keep all of your speed in your routes, and he doesn't look towards the quarterback until he's in that opening, because he understands the concept, understands the coverage. He's got to get around that backer before he's even going to get the ball delivered to him, and that's when he looks. And that doesn't tip off the safety either. So that's good timing and knowledge on his part.
Yeah, and he kind of motors down a little bit when he sees that opening for his quarterback.
You're right. You talked about motoring down there, and that's something that he does well after watching, several games of his. Is he adjusts his speeds really well in and out of his breaks, depending on the coverage, whether it's press, whether it's zone. He does a really good job with that.
Look at Burrow anticipating this window here too.
Yep,
he's
so
throwing.
Good. There was a couple plays that I wanted to put in, and I was like, yeah, actually, that's just a really good throw. That wasn't anything special by Chase. It was just a really, really good throw.
Yeah, I came away the same way, more impressed with Burrow than the receivers.
Me too, man.
Quick shout out. Ryan has joined on here. He's a good bud, and also Sean. Sean's one of the guys that won my the graduates the other day. So
nice. Sean's always in here, man. We appreciate it. He's lined up down here at the bottom. No, not. I don't know. Like, I noticed. I know. We've talked about this a little bit beforehand. Like, he's not great off the line of scrimmage. I feel like he could have done a little more there. Just be a little quicker. Get the hands off and go.
Well, he doesn't even
kind of
sell
opens
this.
up. Look how open he is.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't sell this inside. The corner's in great shape because he doesn't think he's running an inside route at all.
Yeah. But, I mean,
it wasn't believable.
What this guy is so good at is at the catch point, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll let it run
Body
here.
control.
Yeah, his body control is really good.
Top notch.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you get that OBJ vibe that you were talking about, is that body control, because that's something Odell does really, really well.
There's a subtle push off there as well.
So I wanted to highlight.
And sorry about that, but and then tracking as well. He tracks it well, because if you can high point down the field and you're not a giant, then you have to have good timing.
Yeah.
On that as well.
Yep, uses his hands really well down here. Just the turn and catch like that and get your foot in bounds. Crazy.
Sam Wallace in here.
Good ball too, dude. Burrow's he's so good. Yep. He's so good at letting his players make plays.
Yep, he puts us guys in a great position.
Mm-hmm. So I thought, this wasn't a great route. Kind of took him a while to get out of his break here. And just watch how far he trails upfield. Like, he started breaking down at the 30.
Yeah, it wasn't the sharpest.
Well, like that could be a speed out too, though.
Yeah, you're probably right. Now that I'm watching it again.
Yeah, because that's when I had players do that. If you want to have a 10-yard out, you start at 8 and then you drift into the 10. The thing that I don't like is, and the corner's zone, he's looking at Burrow, but he's not threatened vertically at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's planning and coming up on that. So, maybe there's something that Chase is tipping off of this route.
Yeah.
Because, he's faster than him. He should be.
Again, look at Joe Burrow anticipating this throw.
Right,
He's already throwing. He's already throwing the ball.
Although one of mine later, I actually have like one play where I was like, Joe could have done better there. So it's gonna sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. So that's great.
Hey, we have a good
We'll go past that play. We won't watch that play.
We won't watch it.
Yeah, and this is kind of a hitch and go on both sides here, stop and go.
Question real quick, kind of off topic a little bit, but we'll roll with it anyway. Who do we like more at the 5 spot if Dobbins isn't there, Lamb or Swift? Would you guys rather take?
Ooh.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I have no issue with either player, honestly. I would be fine getting either one of those guys. It would probably be Swift for me, but I would have no issue taking Lamb.
I'm taking
Yeah,
Swift.
Okay, go ahead, Jared.
I'm going to take Swift just because I want to take the running back at that point.
Yeah, and that's where I would lean. I think they're pretty even, and I think just due to positional scarcity, you would go with a running back just because there's like 40 receivers that you can start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not many running backs that are 3-down backs.
What's up?
Yep.
What's up, Down in Dynasty? What's up, Rhino? Appreciate you guys. So,
Rhino's is great, dude.
Again, Jamar Chase just making a freaking play. One-on-one contested catch situation. This guy is winning 8 times out of 10. Like, just go up and get it, man. Look at that.
Can we just go back and watch Burrow here? He's getting tattooed,
dude. He's
by 2 guys.
Does this all the time.
Look at this, 2 guys.
I know.
He's getting it creamed.
He's good,
And
man.
lets it go, dude.
He's just got some feel. He understands.
Oh,
Understands
man.
his guys. Let him go
And
make a play.
that's the thing. You know, Jamar Chase versus almost any corner. You're taking Jamar Chase. So give your guy an opportunity to win in a game that we don't have the score here. I'm assuming they're up on Vanderbilt. I remember that game.
Right.
So I don't know where at in the game this is, but they're probably up.
Yeah.
Probably plan to win. Give your guy a chance to make a play.
Yep.
Although Keyshawn Vaughn had a very nice run in this game.
My man. Our guy. We should just rename this Jamar Chase, Rashad Bateman, and Joe Burrow.
And Joe Burrow.
It's
fun to watch.
Good.
Good release here. Good outside release. Gives him a little hezzy and then goes. Then does a nice job working back to the quarterback here on his route.
Can I
go ahead, Nick?
I just disagree with you here because when the purpose of this release is you want the corner to think you're going to go either way, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is 0% that the corner's worried he's going to go inside on him here because he would open his hips if he did. You know what I mean? That's just a weak fake to the inside. I think he needs to sell that more, and then he would have more separation here, which he gets some.
Shit.
But who's this guy against Vanderbilt? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not. I just think he needs to, because all he does is hesitate and go and come back. To me, that might work against Vanderbilt. It's not going to work against NFL corners.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like he could go either way here, just coming up square on him at this point. Right. But I see your point.
And he does that rise up release, that
Justin
hesitation.
Jefferson.
And,
they must be
Jefferson did it too.
They must get taught that there. Just let this one run. Gets hands off the line of scrimmage. Gets inside. Good play. Good run after the catch here. Watch him. He just explodes.
He's a smooth runner too.
Great after the catch.
He's kind of
he's got a little bit of that CD in him.
What up, G?
After the catch, there was a couple plays that I saw that I was like, "Ooh, man, he's really willing to go get it after the catch."
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of a quicker CD Lamb. just to relate back to somebody that we've all watched recently.
And I like just how he navigates there, how he has a feel and he knows just how far he needs to continue to widen to maintain just enough distance, but still get vertical up the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a line between getting caught and avoiding too much and not gaining the ground. You know what I mean? And he just had a good sweet spot there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I guess here I just wanted to highlight the run after catch ability. I mean, he takes a shot here, keeps his feet, and gets an extra 5 yards.
That's a big
Again,
shot, actually.
I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the release here, but he gets the job done.
That takes too long. But, I mean, he catches it knowing he's going to get hit, too.
Yeah.
Man, good balance. Once again, good
He's
balance.
a hell of an athlete.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching an interview earlier today from the strength coach at LSU, and he said this dude is just an animal in the weight room. It's like, I think he said he's his favorite player to coach in the weight room since Josh Reed, who was the last, I think it was the last Blitnikoff winner for LSU. I'm not sure what year that was, but Chase he's on pace to have the most career receiving yards and receiving touchdowns at LSU in the history of the program.
Especially when you consider all the good wide receivers that have gone through there, especially recently.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. All right, here we go. This is the national championship game. I keep playing it through because it was the replay where you got to see more here. So stays downfield. Look at that last second. Now, probably should have been called for pass interference, offensive pass interference. That said, though, what I like is he maintains his line all the way down until that last moment and then widens to have the opportunity to catch it uncontested. Had he slowly progressed over there, the DB would have just faded right with him. Waited till the last second to come over. It's just next level thinking. And AJ Terrell, before this, watching the game, he was like press coverage all up in him. And so you knew he was ready. He was wanting this. And so for him to bait him like that, and then at the last second to get that little bit of shove that maybe should have been called, but the wide in there was what I really liked on that play.
And Garrett, you make
it. You go back to the release and how much I don't like it. Sorry, Jared.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how important it is for receivers to give their quarterbacks room to make this throw. He does a nice job of that here, like Garrett said.
Sounds like a quarterback, Jared.
Yep.
Like you need room from the sideline, but I mean, you look at the release though. There's no fake inside. No. You know what I mean? And I have some plays later where that's why Terrell sticks with them right here. Mm-hmm. That's good coverage. You know what I mean?
That is. Yep.
And so
there was a couple plays he had really good coverage.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he should get more separation initially in his route than that. Mm-hmm. We've seen lots of receivers in this class or in the 2020 class that.
Jaws Whedon says, "Oh, these guys are next year. Dirt. I still need my homework on this year's rookies." Well, if you go to the YouTube channel, it looks like you're on YouTube right now. We have all our breakdowns from those guys on the channel, so plenty of content for their.
I got a guide for you too, if you're interested.
There you go.
Yeah, plenty of content there to do your homework.
We'll just let this last one play through.
It's never too early to do your homework for next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Do your Devy. Join a Devy league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So this was one of the negative ones that I had here. So once again, bad off the line, but he allows himself to get pushed right into the sideline. Wasn't even an option on this play. What's Burrow going to do now? I will say it did widen it and open it up for Jefferson, which helped. But as far as him being an option on that play, unless he was strictly just meant to be a decoy, never meant to be an option there, I don't like to see him go right to the sideline like that and get pushed out of bounds.
Right.
You want me to run that back again? Are you good?
No, I think I said my piece unless you guys got something else.
No, and I saw things like that on film too.
So,
I think that he struggles with physical corners.
Yeah, so that's a trend we're seeing so far with him. Something he can work on. He's still a young player, obviously, so we're being nitpicky, of course.
Oh, for sure.
but that's what we're doing.
So this was some of the after the catch stuff that I love seeing from Chase. So little bubble screen, reads his blocks really well. And then that's Simmons. That's one of the best defensive players in college football this past year. Stops right by him, gets upfield, gets an extra 10 yards on that. It's just savvy having it. Nick, you say it all the time. I love the verbiage. I use it all the time now. Having a plan as he's maneuvering downfield, watching what the blocks are doing, and getting that extra 10 yards, which in a game like this, at this point, this game was a very, very close game. It could be crucial in the outcome.
Yeah, and I just like that he has – how many receivers do we see? They get a good game and they go out of bounds. He has at least the mentality that I'm going to try and maximize this, and he did, and he gained so many more yards. I think that's kind of next level right there. I really like that play.
Agree. He's a football player.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a general term, but what I mean by that is he's a dog. He has some dog in him.
Yep. All right, so this was one of the downers for me. Now, I've only gotten the 2 full games in-depth scouting, but he absolutely just whiffed on this one. And I don't know, does he struggle to track the ball downfield at times? Because Joe Burrow put it in a perfect spot,
right?
And he just whiffed. Like it almost looked like he lost it at some point there because his head was late getting around on it. I'm not quite sure what happened there. You guys saw some of the other games. Was this something that you saw as a regular thing, or was this just kind of a one-off? He just happened to lose it.
For me, that was just a one-off. Like I didn't really see too much of issues with ball tracking when the games I watched.
Yeah, because this one was pretty bad. Like that one should have been a touchdown.
Yeah, he's expecting that on the inside shoulder, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough grab too.
Mm-hmm.
Willie Nelson. Wait, is that the right reference?
Willie Nelson.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays.
Oh, that's what you were going for? The over the shoulder.
Oh man, I knew I was wrong. I just couldn't think of the damn name.
Willie Nelson.
Man, he had some great catches. That Willie Nelson.
Who is Willie Nelson?
The
country singer. Anywho,
that's Woodford.
So this was my one. This was my one Joe Burrow because they're on the goal line here. Well, here, I'll let it play through first. They're on the goal line here, and that was actually a very good route. Joe Burrow threw this way too late.
Yep. High.
Yep.
Throw it low.
He did an excellent job of getting his hips turned, showing the numbers. That needed to be there almost a full second soon.
Yeah, he should be throwing right now.
Yep. So that was a great route on his part. And so I wanted to highlight this specific route because that's really tough when you don't have any extra room back there to get separation, which for the double coverage right there on the goal line, that's a lot of separation.
Yeah.
That play should have happened. So that one's actually on Burrow, but it was a really great route, I thought, by Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm. It's a good play by 29 too, I think, to drive that,
mm-hmm.
And get there in time.
Yep.
And it's such a limited area.
Yeah, he really gets down low and comes back on that one. I love the way how sudden he was with that.
Yep, balance.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that was a play that I really liked out of him. All right, and then my last one for Jamar Chase.
Ooh, grown man.
Just a dog.
He's still not down. Does he ever go down?
He doesn't. He doesn't go down.
He's strong.
And it was a simple thing to highlight. Once again, thrown slightly behind him. Just a simple slant route. Nothing too crazy on it. But he gets upfield right away, breaks 1 tackle, 2 tackles, and then carries another guy for 5, 6, 7 yards. And it takes multiple defenders, and he never even goes down. And I just like that mentality out of a receiver where, especially over the middle, where we saw, some guys that we highlighted on this stream, especially over the middle, guys get nervous and get a little bit antsy. Nah, he had that fight in him. He was trying to get the extra yards, made the good catch. It was a play I really liked out of Chase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here are some of my plays. I got Alabama and Oklahoma. I was a little bit more, I think, negative in terms of plays, but I think those are important ones to watch here. So right here, this is against Diggs. Diggs is a second-round pick to Dallas. And you watch this, and that's a good play there. If you go back to the beginning, what I don't like is that one, Diggs is really aggressive coming across the line. As a receiver, as a receiver's coach over the years, you love aggressive corners because those are the ones that you can grab their wrists, right? Get on their hips, and then you can stack them, and then you're gone. Because most of the time you have a corner that's in your way, a little bit just to disrupt timing. Diggs is overly aggressive. You never want to lunge that far. And he got into his chest. That's like the worst case scenario for a receiver. So this was like an alert for me. Like, is he not prepared for this? And two, is this something that people could regularly do against him? And I saw this time and again this game that Diggs was getting his hands all over him, and you do not want hands on him. But right here, he has the strength to shed him. Diggs does slip, but he got rid of him at least to give himself an opportunity. So I put it as like a good and a bad play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the way he's able to get rid of him, though, and get upfield, like you said. Burrow gives him a dime.
Right.
Shocker.
Yeah. Big play Chase.
He's going to be so good. He's going to be so good.
So there, like, again, hands got all over him, right? But I like that he saw that he wasn't going to get the ball deep and came back because his quarterback's scrambling here. I think this is ad lib. I don't think this is the play design.
I think you're right. I think this is a scramble drill here.
Yep. That's a quarterback talking. Scramble drill. Love those. Always come back to your quarterback. And he did. And that, to me, that's like a little bit next level in terms of thought process and, what you need to do. So I really like that.
The way you guys did scramble drill, was it the way we always ran it? Now, granted, I was a running back, so it depended on the formation for me. But was it typically like the deep guys are coming back in and the inside guys are going deep on scramble drill? Or how did you guys do it?
You want to talk yours first, Jared, and then I'll talk mine?
Yeah, no, actually, that's exactly how we ran it.
Okay.
We wanted the guys to work back to the football. And then, I mean, basically just get open, man. I'm not going to throw it back across my body late over the middle. I'm either throwing it out of bounds or along the sideline, most likely, or getting 2 to 3 yards running the ball.
Yeah. I mean, for me, if you're deep, go short. If you're short, go deep. And you're always flowing towards the quarterback. And then when you're out of room, that's when you kind of go upfield. It's it's just a set of rules of chaos, basically.
Yeah. That's a perfect term that Jared would love, a rule of chaos.
That's football, man. It never goes according to plan. You always have to just have more tools in your toolbox. That's good balance there. So this one, I just thought it was lazy. I mean, we talked about the release, right? There's zero threat of him going outside on Diggs here. He kind of comes across the middle and just there's no explosiveness. I just thought it was a pretty lazy route.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Phil said,
he's lining up more in the slot this game than I saw.
Phil said press coverage is going to be a problem for Chase. NFL corners are not going to believe his release.
Yep.
Good news is he can get coached up on that.
Mm-hmm. So this is the only other drop that I had. I thought it was kind of a tough ball, but still he should have caught it.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind the release here, so I'll give him that. He fakes outside, and it's at least a little believable, which is why he got separation, even though he's already way inside.
Yeah, he gave a nice punch to the outside here, finally.
Yep. So that's a half good, but then, I mean, hit both of his hands.
Yeah, he needs
so
to
I didn't know if this was a drop or he had footsteps here in 21 coming in here.
He might have.
Yeah, either way, it's a drop, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's good at little subtle push-offs, right?
Yep. And I just like the top of that route there where he's already inside, but he right there, hey, I'm going to lean into him. You said push off and then come over. I thought that was nice.
Small little thing. I like the way he's able to absorb the contact here. He understands leverage. Gets his shoulders down low.
Gain some more yards.
We have somebody from Facebook says undefined. So we appreciate your comment, whoever you are. Says, hey guys, love your prospect evaluations. Best in the business, in my opinion. We appreciate that, man. And then I want you guys to discuss this because I think this was the feeling by, I would say most people, and I wonder where you guys are at on this, Chase would have been the first wide receiver taken this year if he was draft eligible. Do you think that is true or false?
You go first, Jared.
Based on the year that he had and the hype that he had, I think it's definitely possible. I don't know if I can say yes or no. I'll say yes because I have to give an answer. I think he would have.
You think it would have?
Yeah.
What about you, Nick?
I'll go a different way. In terms of my rankings, he would not have been my top receiver.
Okay.
But, the first receiver taken was my wide receiver 7. So
I think my 11. So
yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I definitely think he has the tools, and he would have been right up there at the top of this last class.
For sure. He was definitely a first-round pick, and I don't think he would have gotten past 20. So,
yeah. But, I mean, obviously there's things we see here that he definitely needs to work on. But as far as ceiling goes, his ceiling's up there with Lamb and Judy and Ruggs.
I would take him over Judy, I'll say that. I would take him over Ruggs and Judy. I don't know that I would take him over CD.
Yeah, because I think he can be your true number one receiver that you need.
Mm-hmm. So this was just to highlight another one where no good release. Another corner got their hands all over him. I mean, fake inside, use your hands. And he stays with him, even after that initial punch. That's just a bad sign for me. And this is a big game.
Yeah, Alabama definitely saw on tape that, hey, we need to get up in Chase early and get physical with him.
Which is why I think that might be one of the reasons why you move more into the slot, because then you're off the line and then you have to deal with that as much. So
yeah.
I don't know.
And I mean, we're on Oklahoma actually here. Same jersey color. Didn't even notice that.
Yep.
But I think it's something that obviously people saw on tape.
This was subtle. I mean, because you can't see much of the route. What I want to point out here is that, so when he comes across, and you can actually play it really slow once it gets in the picture here. You'll see him coming across parallel, and then he comes back to the ball here, which is what you want, which allows him to avoid this safety. And that's the things that avoids balls getting knocked down, it, reduces interceptions, things like that. And that's not easy for a receiver to do, because you always want to drift upfield, but him to come back that half yard, I think gained him more yards right there.
Yeah. Good point. Good work, guys. Any other final thoughts on Chase before we move on to Bateman here?
Basically, really good receiver. Some little nuanced things that are coachable and fixable. That I think he's going to be an excellent player at the next level.
I agree. Let's move on to Rashad Bateman here. Big Ten wide receiver of the year, another Biletnikoff finalist last year. Both these guys were only 4-star recruits. They weren't in the top 15 of their class. I don't think Chase was. So just interesting to point out sometimes, because I'm in these campus to Canton leagues. I joined a couple this year, and it's funny how fast the 5-star wide receivers go off the board compared to people that actually have production, college, and stuff already.
Was Demas wide receiver 1?
Well, I think Julian Fleming was the first one that came off for this class.
Interesting.
Yeah. But, Rashad Bateman, he's on pace to break every single Minnesota wide receiver record for sure.
He's really good. He's really good.
He's good.
He is. Mel Kiper had him in his mock for 2021, I think going 8 overall. So my boy Mel likes him.
Where did they have Tyler Johnson going last year?
I don't know. Ask Kane.
Yeah, why isn't Kane on here? He should be on here.
Yeah, I know. We're watching his boy.
So this is me. This is just such a good route. And Jared, you're going to point out the false step, which I couldn't stop looking at.
I think
so I
it's
won't
me.
talk about it. But
But
what I like here is, if you go back to the start, and this is the thing about having the plan. So the corner is already aligned on his inside half. He's already a half a man inside of him, which makes it harder to get to the inside. And when you watch his release, he fakes outside, turns the corner's hips, and that allows for that separation.
yeah.
And those are the little things that matter so much with route running.
I think this is my play, but yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Oh, is it your play?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was mine.
It really doesn't. I mean, it doesn't matter. That's what we're here
Sorry,
for.
man.
It's like, nah, just let him go. Because
He was on a roll.
honestly, Nick,
Who did I do?
I rather have your opinion on wide receivers. I mean, you coached them in college. Like, you're way more fluent at talking wide receiver than I think both of us. So
No, if you're gonna say the same things, man, then we're on the same page.
yeah, but great route here, like Nick said. Damn it, went too far. Turns the cornerback around, sharp cut here on the post, and just extends and catches the ball away from his body. This guy has phenomenal hands. That's something I noticed off the bat. Like, he's always catching the ball with his hands away from his body, and he's making some ridiculous catches. And he runs after the catch pretty well too. He's a big dude.
He does.
6'2", 210.
Jared, I got to give you a compliment on something real quick. Those little pictures, those little cutouts there at the beginning, not cutout, but with the Nerds logo, those look sharp. It's those little things that make things looking good, man. Good work.
You know I'm nitpicky like that.
Well, we don't need to get into that on the air.
Hey man, I gotta keep you straight.
Gotta do something.
See here, I thought he drifted too much on this route. I mean, he starts breaking down at the 20, and he gets all the way up to the 26-yard line. I think he was trying to run a speed cut, kind of like we saw with Chase, and it's just, it's a little sloppy. It's not really his forte from what I saw, these type of out-breaking routes and stuff. A bigger body guy.
It's tough to slow that down.
Yeah.
He's got some stiffer hips. I think that's his biggest issue, is that it's tough for him to lose his momentum and get it back again.
Yeah.
Those hips don't lie.
These are the routes that he excels on. Breaking across the middle. Again, catches the ball away from his body, then he's gone. Breaks a tackle.
I'm going to be really curious to see what his 40 is.
I'm going to put him at a 4.58, 4.55.
No,
See,
faster than that.
I was going to say, I was going to put him in the high fours.
Yep.
You guys both just shot that down in a hurry. As soon as I said 4.58, I was like, that's wrong.
That's like Tyler Johnson's running a 4.58.
Yeah, it might be 4.5 flat. I don't think he's 4.4.
Anywhere between a 4.45 and a 4.5 flat. That's about where I think he's at.
I think I'm with you, Nick.
Natural correction.
Although did Jared win the wide receiver 40 time
Probably.
contest, or was that me?
I won, period. So that's all that
Well,
matters.
I won one of them, either running backs or
We
receivers.
only
and you
did
won the
running
other
backs and receivers, so
I won Denzel Mims. Right?
you did win one of them. Natural correction wants to know what college you coach wide receivers at, Nick.
So I was a student assistant, but I was at Carthage, Western Kentucky, and then I interned at both Drake and Montana State. So I was always in their rooms and helping out with drills and helping out whenever I could. So it was a pretty cool experience, being a small fish, and but I sponged it up, and I all I'm saying is stuff that I learned from other coaches. So it's pretty cool.
It's hard work, man.
Oh, I mean, you were D1, Jared. You know what it's like in those rooms, and
Yeah, man. It's
the film grind.
this college football. People don't realize how much of a grind it is for the coaches, for players. Like, it's 5:30 a.m. till 8 p.m., dude. Like, go to class, come back. You lift in the morning, or you have a training table. You got to get fixed up if you're hurt. You watch film, you got your meetings, you go to class, you come back, get your lift in the afternoon, if that's your schedule. Some people lift in the morning, go to class again, get your meals, the cafeteria, come back for meetings, practice, meetings. It's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I played NAIA, which it was a school that while I was there transitioned into Division II. So it was NAIA and then switched partway through my time there. But when you're NAIA, you don't have the NCAA regulations. So instead of 2-a-days, we had 3-a-days.
Ooh.
Damn, dude.
It was awful.
I never had to go through that.
Awful.
So here I thought he did a nice job of punching to the outside on this linebacker, kind of selling like he's going outside. And, of course, this linebacker shouldn't stay with him, but punches here with his right foot, works back inside, gets a hands off of him with his hands. It just makes a good catch.
You know, one thing I noticed that I don't know if we're going to see a play that agrees with it, but I could tell that he was left-handed. Could you guys tell that?
I did not know. I don't know.
I can honestly say that never even crossed my mind.
I'm weird, man. I just look at so many things.
I love you, Nick. You have the most unique perspective on so many things. That's what makes it so fun on here. Because I feel like once a week, you say something, I'm like, Nick, I have no idea. Once a week, once an episode.
It's a great contested catch here. Comes back, kind of catches it behind the defender's body. There's going to be a better angle of it from the end zone view. But you can see his hands kind of reaching back.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal catch. Both of these guys are great in contested catch situations.
And Bateman's what, 6'3", 6'4"?
6'2".
6'2", 210.
That's it? He looks
Can
bigger.
you go back?
He's long. He's real long.
He is.
Can you go back in the original one?
Yep.
He did the same thing here where he doesn't look until he clears this backer, which I like too. The same thing as Chase. So here he's accelerating, gets past there, now looks, which keeps and maintains all of his speed.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a fundamental player. I like that. Look at that quarterback looking off. Aren't you proud of him, Jared?
I am. I like this quarterback.
Is it Tanner Morgan?
Yep.
Yeah, Kuiper. I was reading up on Bateman, and they mentioned Kuiper's pretty high on Morgan too. He thinks he might work his way up in the top 5 or 6 quarterbacks.
I can see that.
There's a group there. Trask, him.
Sluggo.
Oh, from Florida?
We call this route a sluggo.
Yep.
Slant and go.
Slant and go. So does a nice job of selling the slant. I'd like to see him show his head maybe back to the quarterback to sell it more. But obviously he already has him beat. He knows he has him beat. Throws him by him. He's gone.
See ya.
Quarterback puts it right in the spot.
Hepatitis, see you later.
Again,
that's good balls. He overthrew him a little bit here.
Yeah.
You got it.
Great. He is great ball tracking. I noticed that too. And look how he watches the ball into his hands. It's fundamental. Catches the ball away from his body here.
That's what I don't do when I golf. I start to look where it's gonna go instead of
We'll see Saturday.
We'll find out Saturday.
Always
This is me. Here we go. All right. So these next two
Jeez,
plays.
you're screaming. I'm going to
Juiced
edit the
up,
audio
man.
on this.
Hey, look, I'm excited, guys.
Clapping into the mic and everything.
These next two plays, what I want you guys to watch are his feet. It has nothing to do. They're both run plays. He has nothing to do on this play. So, we see other guys that kind of take the plays off at times, or we'll give the old college try, and watch his feet on both of these runs, and then it's the third play. So, does a little inside out. Same thing, a little inside out.
I don't think I got your third play.
Oh, they weren't cut together.
Oh, okay.
So, no, you're on the right one.
Okay. This is something Grant Caraway talked about when he was on our channel.
Exact same thing that he does on the run. Now, watch him here. Boom, up the field. I love seeing that he's doing the exact same thing on those run plays that he's doing here. And what he does there is he has a post on this route. When we get back to it. Has a post on this route, runs it a little bit skinnier than some others that I've seen, but he sees where the backer and the safety are, finds that dead spot. Really nice play, especially when he was setting that up. And you see this with other routes. This isn't the only time that he does this. He'll run straight out. He'll do different things, but you see it repeated on run plays and then done later in the passing game, which I really, really appreciate. Shows that extra attention to detail.
His movements have a purpose. He's not just shuffling his feet. That he's going somewhere to move a corner. He's really fundamentally sound.
Just real quick, do you guys think that Bateman is a little more refined as a true wide receiver than Chase?
Yes.
I think so. Yep.
I think so too.
He's not as fluid of an athlete, but again, that doesn't always translate. That's
So it's tough to see on the first time through, but let it go to the replay
Okay.
here, and you'll be able to see it a lot better because he kind of gets cut off at the top of his route there. So you see fully bit inside. You see that inside foot, and then completely turns outside. Then has the concentration on the sideline. The amount of separation he got on that route. I mean, number 5 bit completely. Opened himself up for a great play, catching the ball then on the sideline.
I love the head
I'm
turn.
really excited about I'm really excited about Bateman. The more I watched, the more I was moving him up my board.
What a route.
What a route for that big of a guy to cut like that. I love the way he's flashing his head back to the quarterback too on the when he's breaking inside. Kind of looks here.
Yeah. And the phrase that I always use is they're actors. You know what I mean? They're selling a role to these corners, and they got to believe them. You have to, play it out one way, then to beat them the other way. That's phenomenal.
Look how fundamental this is. Our college coaches preach this. Like, we used to just have drills where if the wide receivers caught the ball like in practice and like, we're just throwing routes, they had to stare at the ball after they caught it for like 5 seconds just to train your mind to do that. He does that quite often. I notice when I'm watching him.
Real quick, non-work account. I went to Malone, so that was the school that went from NAIA to Division II while I was there. And unfortunately, the program's gone now. But 2018 was their last season, and Ashton Doolin, who is signed as an undrafted free agent, went to Malone. He's playing with the Colts right now. So that was the only guy we ever had go pro, and it was the last season that Malone had a football team.
Yeah, the Nugget. He said size, refinement, athleticism, contested catch ability. Seems like a guy that will be in contention for wide receiver 1. I absolutely would not be surprised if Bateman's the consensus wide receiver 1 draft time next year.
Also because LSU is going to have a different coaches.
4 different linemen on the line. They got a lot of changes.
All right, go back to that last play. I didn't get to talk about it at all yet. So this was one of the ones that I was like, So look at the situation here. It's 3rd and 6. Keeps it real shallow and is even cutting back in. You got to know where those sticks are. It just showed a lack of awareness on this play to me. I wanted him to get a little bit deeper there, at least give himself a chance to fall forward for the first down. Seemed too shallow to me.
I'm not sure on that one. I mean,
you see where the tight end's going here.
Right, I think that's on the quarterback. He's getting blitzed and he just threw it hot because he's Derek Brown's right in his face. There's guys that run shallow of the marker all the time, I think. That's just me. What do you think, Jared?
Yeah, I think this play looks like it was like we used to call it Y shallow.
Yep.
Well, of course, here the Y is running more of a hook and Bateman's on the shallow. And, I mean, if the play would have probably developed more, Bateman probably would have dragged this linebacker, or at least the object of the play would be to drag that linebacker out and hit the tight end right over here in the middle for the first down. So
maybe I'm missing it. What would be the purpose of not taking that a little bit deeper, him cutting over the top of the tight end as opposed to cutting underneath of the tight end?
So in my opinion, I'm not sorry if I'm cutting you off, Jared.
No, you're good. I'm legitimately asking the question here.
Yep.
So to me, that doesn't make sense.
So this defender that's in front of the, I think, what, tight end or whatever, Jared said, they're high-lowing him is what they're doing. And Bateman's role is to pull him a certain direction, and the throw should be the tight end, but he doesn't have time because Derek Brown's in his face.
Okay.
But if that defender stays with the tight end and they throw to Bateman, it's a clear out. Everyone else cleared out for Bateman, and then he might have time to get the first down.
Get upfield.
So it's like a hot route,
Okay.
That's all they're doing. That's my guess without knowing their offense in place.
So you're not going to see many guys of his size and his physicality be able to do this. Love the little bubble screen here. Gets upfield, and once again, I'm going to steal Nick's term again, but he had a plan right away, and he's able to navigate. These aren't huge moves, but steps inside, steps outside to be able to. He got that safety to bite that he was going back inside, and he cut it back out. Really, really liked that play. Really liked the yards after the catch ability that you have at a guy that's much bigger than you would see out of traditionally a guy that would be able to make a play like this happen.
That's sexy, man. I don't know how else to describe it.
That was
And
sexy.
this is Auburn in their bowl game. It's not like he's playing against a scrub. Like,
Right.
Non-work account wants to know where would we slot him in the 2020 class. So the 2020 class for myself, I've done a lot more work on them, than Chase and Bateman. Of course, I watched a little bit of film on Bateman before to prepare for this. But these games that Garrett and Nick watched, I didn't watch. We kind of split up these games and brought the cut-ups to the stream here. So I would need to do more work on both these guys to truly like have a firm grasp on where I would slot them. But I think right now, I think they would both be top 5 for me. I'll say that. Tier one receivers.
yep. I've been talking about this for a while. I actually think there is a very real chance that the 2021 class ends up being better than the 2020 class, which sounds like hypocrisy right now when we have the most ever drafted. It's through a certain amount of rounds, and we have all of these studs that we can get in our rookie drafts at 2-1, 2-2, 2-3. There's a lot of very, very, very talented prospects. We're going to watch 2 more next week that are just, and Waddle and Rondell Moore that are just absolute studs.
Teaser.
So, yeah, it's scary. And I tweeted this out as well. If I have a receiver on my fantasy football team that is not elite and over the age of 27, 28 years old, I'm considering selling, because the amount of talent that we had in the 19 class at the receiver, this class, and 21, a lot of those guys are going to be without jobs. So it's going to be really interesting to see how all this plays out.
Yeah, definitely. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's tough. I think between Lamb, Chase, Bateman, and Judy, you could throw in Rager just based on landing spot, but I don't think we're talking about landing spot. I think we're talking about like just as a prospect.
Yeah.
He's top 4.
Yeah.
He's top 4 for me.
Non-work account. I think he's talking about that drag, that high-low we were talking about earlier. He said that looks like a drag the Rams run. Uh-oh. You got a Rams comp here, Nick?
Oh, man.
All right, so if you're new to the stream, every week we have Nick gives a Rams comp. I don't know how it started. I think it started with Don Beebe.
Don Beebe's not a Ram, though.
Oh, damn it. That's so true. I don't know Don Beebe.
He had like 3 or 4 weeks in a row where he comped a player to a random Rams player that no one ever heard of. And that just kind of became a thing.
Honestly, he kind of gives me some Torrey Holt vibes, although he's bigger than him.
I would say he's bigger than Holt.
I was going to say Kenny Britt, maybe.
Nah, he's smaller.
Okay.
I think he's more refined. Britt was just an athlete. Ahead of Jefferson, natural correction asks, yes, he's well ahead of Justin Jefferson.
So Garrett, obviously this play goes to Tyler Johnson here, but
yeah,
assume you like the release here on this play.
Maybe I gave you the wrong time because I don't remember this play.
That's a good route though.
Yeah, it's a good release.
It is, but yeah, I don't remember this play.
I was wondering when I was cutting these. I was like, I think he probably just liked the release here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have no clue why that's in there.
Oh well, I think we're on the Knicks tape here. Unless this is still Garrett's, I'm not sure.
Nope, this is me. So to me, what I like most about this one is the corner is aligned inside. This is what made me think it was my play from before, Jared. He's aligned inside, and he continues to attack his outside to leave the space in there. Because the corner's looking at the quarterback. He's waiting. He's like, oh, wait, is this like a hitch? Is this an out? You know what I mean? And then he comes inside.
Yeah, the corner's real confused right now.
Yep. But if he would have, attacked his inside, I think, the corner would have bit and drove on that. So I think he ran a really good route here. And he takes a shot and held the whole.
He's got great hands.
I didn't see any drops. Did you guys see any drops?
I don't think so.
Games?
No, he makes some crazy touchdown catches in this one. I don't know which plays I highlighted, but he does some crazy stuff here. Oh, this is one of them. Oh, dirty. He knows where he needs to go, but he sells it inside to make the corner move inside. I mean, look at that. Look at the corner lunging inside. Oh, I'm done. And then the body control and get his feet down. It's a phenomenal play. I just love that attack right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You know, last year at this time, if you would have said Lamb over Judy, people would have probably given you like the sideways eye. I feel like that's kind of the same thing with Bateman and Chase here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm falling in love as we're watching this. Like,
Yo,
we won't tell your wife.
yeah, please don't.
it's you guys like pick up on these little things here. Like, I love seeing these small things that don't have to do with like the play. Just watch him go up the hill though and keep his feet. Like how good of an athlete he is to do this. Like,
yeah,
I mean, just little things like that. I always like seeing that kind of stuff.
absolutely.
It's a John Gruden in me.
Balance.
He always says that kind of shit. That's why I said that.
Speaking of, did you watch the who's the Fox guy that makes fun of everybody? He did the schedule. He had the John Gruden.
Frank Caliendo.
Frank Caliendo. Yeah.
Win.
Oh,
win,
that was hilarious.
Win.
Dude.
It's the funny. Like gonna get it done, baby. It's just.
Does he get that second foot down? Nope. He's bad. He's not good.
Not an NFL catch.
Never mind. Going to be good in the NFL.
Wide receiver 10. I'm done with him.
Oh, man.
He could have if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Here's a good look at it. So I love how he has no wasted steps on that route.
Yep. And he uses his hands way better than Chase does.
Yeah. 1, 2.
Hands flat. He comes flat. He doesn't drift upfield.
Just phenomenal catch.
Mm-hmm.
Boy's got some hands.
I'm a fan.
Yep.
Rhino said, I've learned so much about these two prospects in the last 40 minutes. You guys are the best. Thanks, Rhinos. He's one of the best guys out there on Twitter. I love Rhinos.
Yeah, I love his account.
Really nice guy.
Always putting good shit on my timeline.
For sure.
This is one that I didn't like because before on this route, remember I talked about him, he stayed outside and left that room. This is one where he tacked inside and didn't, and it forced the corner to drive early, forced more of a contested reception, and he doesn't come down with this one.
Yeah.
And I know people are like, that's a drop.
It's a tough catch.
When a corner swipes at it, like to me, that's tough to define. But to me, I'm more worried about the route here. He needs to stay wider, and especially because he's in the boundary. And for people that they're not big with football, the boundary is the short side of the field versus the field. You have a lot more room to maneuver, especially down here. All your movements in area is so crucial.
Yeah, for sure. Look at that extension here. That's a tough catch.
Mm-hmm.
Tanner needs to put that on him a little more. Probably comes down with it.
The Nugget Monkey's asking if we're going to, dive into any of the smaller school guys. We will.
Oh yeah, sure, man.
Only two per week. We got 40 weeks.
Too
of
much
this,
time.
Man.
Yeah, dude.
40 weeks of this.
We'll get into some freaking 2023 huddle tape if you want.
Oh, let's go. J Mike, what's up, J Mike?
What up, J Mike? Yeah. So, who are some Group 5 guys that we'll watch? Like DeMonte Coxey, I like him a lot from Memphis.
Yep.
That's just one guy that comes off the top.
So the one thing that you had talked about when we were talking about prepping for this, Jared, and we haven't looked yet. Look at that. Oh, that route is just so smooth. His ability to decelerate here and be smooth on this break, I think is just full speed, boom. That reminds me of that Shadow Chosenko, if you guys saw that one the other week. Someone put out some of his best routes.
I did see that. That was fun.
Phenomenal. And again, this is the boundary where it's really limited.
It's a great speed up.
But Bateman false steps, and you were going to talk about it, I think, Jared, right?
Oh yeah, I think I missed that.
But he doesn't every route. You can watch right here.
He does that. He does do that every route, and it's something that I think a lot of the Minnesota wide receivers do. Is you'll see his back foot takes a false step. See that? He's going to want to eliminate that just because it wastes time at the line of scrimmage. He does that every time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you had anything to add to that, Nick, but
all I was going to talk about, because you had brought up just previous, that's why I talked about it, his stance. And his stance, the purpose of a stance for receiver is a couple of things. One, it is you want to be fast, come off the line of scrimmage. And the other one is you need to be ready for everything. So like right here, you can see Tyler Johnson is in the slot here. He is very up and down because he doesn't have to worry about what? Press coverage. So his chest is exposed. He doesn't really care about it. But then you look at both outside receivers, they're hunched over. They're in an area where it's harder for the corner to get at them. And that's, I think, part of why his lean is that way. But he really needs to fix up that false step. But you get that part fixed, it's a perfect stance and start.
Mm-hmm. J. Mike said, Chase versus Bateman, where do we stand so far? Let's
you're gonna have to go back and watch, J. Mike. We went pretty hard on this, but I don't know, at least for me, I will not speak for you two. I actually kind of like Bateman a little bit better.
I'm there too.
Right now it's Bateman.
I'm there too.
Both of them.
Yep.
Watch this one. So he already has the outside, and it's a fade, right? And that's what I like about this, because some receivers would be lazy to be satisfied. He still fakes inside, makes the corner hesitate, come inside, and gives himself enough room, and then the body control to come down with this one.
And I do want to say, like, that's not a diss to Chase at all. Like, we both...
No, we like his tape too.
Like, we liked him a lot as far as, like, he would be tier 1 for 2020. But all three of us came to a consensus, so we like Bateman more than Chase at this point.
I'm tweeting it out so it's official, you know.
Oh, great. He has to be first.
Beating us to it?
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Why do you think I got so quiet for the last 2 minutes? Normally, you can't give me a shut up.
Price check. Bateman.
And then I said one play. I don't want to get a lot of plays against small school. This is San Diego State. But this is, I think, just a phenomenal play in terms of body control and wanting to succeed here.
Get off
he
me.
He breaks the tackle.
Young blood.
Cuts inside, and then that acceleration after being at a stop, I thought was pretty good.
That's awesome. I love this cut when I watched this one, when you sent it over, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, and go ahead.
With this real quick, I know I already said one nice thing, which feels like one too many. But I do really appreciate Jared taking the time to cut all these and put them together. Because, if you guys are coming in late, normally we watch full games. Jared took the time. All Nick and I did was just send him the timestamp of the clips that we wanted. Jared put all these together, put that picture in the front. I think this has made it a much more streamlined experience. I don't know what you guys think, but it helped us narrow in on the specific things that we wanted to talk about on these guys, as opposed to some of the filler. Not that we shouldn't watch full games. I think we should do that on our own time. I think that's good. But here it was much easier to get to some of the talking points.
Yeah, and let us know on Twitter. Let us know on here what you guys think of this format. If you prefer this one, if you prefer the other one, we prefer this one. But if you don't prefer it,
yeah,
you know what I mean? That's something to know.
Yeah, this was kind of the feedback we received on the YouTube videos and the comments and stuff, where people like, you should pick out the plays beforehand. Little extra work for us, but I enjoyed doing it because it gave me it gave me a head start before coming on stream to watch these guys.
For sure.
And I think you guys get a lot more plays that are like worthy of discussing rather than fast forwarding through 10 run plays in a row, so.
Real quick, Pigeon Brothers. Rashad is my good friend, went to my school. Pigeon Brothers, if you get Rashad Bateman to come on here and talk about his film with us, we will make you the official whatever you want to be of the Film Nerds. That would be pretty dope. So
and we've done that before.
we had DJ on. Josh Johnson from ULM is going to come on in a few weeks here. So yeah, that would be awesome. He's definitely a round one guy, so that would be a huge name to be able to get on here.
For sure.
Look at this guy. He said, "I got you."
Nice. Let's go.
My guy.
Yeah, man. So, Bateman over Chase, right? Like right now at this very moment, like that's not popular to say. Season. But I also think a lot of people are just, a lot of people haven't dove in like to the film from last year yet on these guys because they weren't going to the NFL draft yet. So, yeah.
Perfect.
Pros and cons to either. The Nugget said, if you do specific cut-ups, maybe more cons. Provide a great picture.
What was I saying before we started?
Love this format.
We count on Nick to get on not 80% of the cons.
See, the thing is, though, these guys are freaking good. Like these are like
there's
top
not a ton of
tier
cons.
players. That's what I was saying earlier because I was like, oh, Nick will bring the cons for sure.
It's much easier when it's Chase Claypool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I mean, I thought we were
man.
pretty nitpicky with some of the stuff with these guys. Like Chase had trouble getting off the line of scrimmage. Wasn't a great route runner. Probably needs to get better at that. At times he kind of was a little lazy in his routes, but he's an absolute beast at the catch point and after the catch. And he's just a hell of an athlete, super strong. You can just tell. So ceiling's sky high for him. Bateman's probably a little more refined of a player, better route runner, good at using his hands, probably has better overall like natural catching.
He's got a better size for their traditional X receiver too.
Yeah, both excellent after the catch, both excellent at the catch point. Yeah, I mean, top 10. I don't know if they're top 10 players.
We'll see. It wouldn't shock me. I mean, they're both really, really good wide receivers. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up top 10. But they're definitely not getting outside of the first round. They're both locks for first round for me.
Oh yeah. Yep. After this, if people are watching this and you're in leagues with me, I'm going to be trading for Bateman. So I'm coming.
Just get ready for it.
Yep.
Pridgeon said he just texted him.
Cool.
That would be dope. I mean, show him the DJ Dallas.
I pronounced
video
his name wrong.
Hey, send us
I said Pigeon Brothers. What am I doing?
Send us a DM.
Yeah, hit us up.
We can talk for sure. Appreciate you, bro. Pal said, always love a good nerds nitpicking. What up, Pals? Anybody have any other questions?
I saw one earlier that was interesting for me. That was fantasy wise. It was a trade offer. It was like Mixon and a 21 first versus there it is. Yep. I was being offered, this is by Brandon Carr, if he's still on here or not, but Mixon and a 21 first for Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, it's Mixon in the first for me. I love Jonathan Taylor. My love for him is only growing, but it's definitely Mixon. Like it would be tough straight up, to be honest, let alone the 21 first.
I agree.
Yeah. And I'm with you, but I want to say this, okay? Joe Mixon has this huge love in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Is it warranted? Has he done it?
Uh-oh.
Has he been elite?
I see Garrett getting ready.
How many receptions did he have
Here's the thing.
season?
I kind of became a Mixon
I know, you got
truther
labeled.
just because Rich was such a hater. We had this debate on the Nerds Pod, like whether or not Mixon would be an RB1 this past season.
Right.
And he still says that I was wrong because he was RB13. So, there it is what it is. All that said, I think Mixon is a very good player. I think he is a better football player even than fantasy football player. With all of that, I do think the hype is a little bit too high for the hardcore truthers.
The nice thing with Mixon, though, is that he's going to catch passes. With Taylor, you're not sure.
For sure. Well, the opportunity should be there. I just put out a tweet. The past 2 seasons with Rivers, Melvin Gordon, despite having Austin Eckler there and missing 4 games in both those seasons, averaged 60 targets per season. Melvin Gordon, who wasn't even the pass catcher on that team. So I think the targets will be there with Phillip Rivers for him. So the opportunity will be there. We'll see what he does with it. But the opportunity, I do think, will be there.
So, sorry, I was trying to load in here and my computer's getting slow on me. But in terms of receptions, okay, without knowing, what's the most Mixon's ever had in a season?
I know it wasn't that high last year because that was one of my complaints was he wasn't catching nearly as many passes as he could.
42.
So I'm going to say his highest number of catches is 42.
I just said that. The hell?
Did you really?
Yeah, I said literally said 42.
45.
How the hell did we both say 42?
That's really random.
That's crazy. His most ever in a season, in his 3 seasons, is 43. The other ones are 30 and 30. It was 35 last year. He's never topped 300 even yards receiving. And for me, like that's similar to Jonathan Taylor numbers. And now you got a guy that's got 3 years of wear and tear on, who, we're in that stage. Is he going to get the contract? Is he not?
Is he
He
going
might
to
hold out this year. Yeah.
Right. And so to me, I think it's a little bit more of a a little bit more of a debate.
Yeah.
Because Taylor's locked in for 4 years.
I still like Mixon the first, I think, but I see your point.
Well, no, I like Mixon at first. I was going straight up Mixon over Taylor. I'm going to go Taylor there.
If it was straight up, I'd probably go Taylor too, but I like it in the first back. That's just another asset where if you are making a playoff push, you could dish that off for another guy to help you along the way.
I'm going to have to think about that one. It's really close straight up for me. It's always tough. As much as I truly do think Jonathan Taylor would be uber successful with the Colts, it's still tough taking like a non-proven commodity over a proven commodity. Like there's something internally that like fights against that. But based on everything I've seen, based on all that, I don't have a problem with that.
How about this one? Phil wants to hear your thoughts on Eckler and a 21 first versus Kamara. What do you guys have on that one?
That's super tough too. I think I'd take Kamara.
It's so tough to project on the 2021st ahead of time because so much can happen over the course of the year. But this would probably be the classic, like if it looks like it's going to be in the top 6, then I'm taking the Eckler side. If it looks like it's going to be a low end first, I'm probably going the Kamara side.
I think if it's a low, I mean, most of them I always think these are mid. It's going to be like
you assume 106.
Yeah, the 5th through the 10th or something is what I always assume. But I'm going Eckler there. Eckler just signed a 4-year deal. Kamara's going into a contract year. If Kamara leaves, if he leaves there and Breeze, has 2 years left? I mean, he's even the same value. He's not, in my opinion. And I know Eckler got hyped up a lot because of last year, but now there's no Gordon. And he was phenomenal last year, even with Gordon.
Monster.
So I think I would take the first and Eckler there.
Yeah. Let's see here. Pridgeon said he came to his house and gave him a jersey signed. That's pretty cool, man. But yeah, if you were able to get in touch with him, we'd really appreciate that. That'd be awesome to have him on the show, especially after hyping him up as the wide receiver 1.
Absolutely, yeah. If he's unsure, show him the show.
Yeah,
and then that'll convince him.
And we'll all take signed jerseys too.
But yeah, I think
it'll go right up here.
That's gonna wrap it up for the night. We appreciate everybody stopping by. Next week, we got another good lineup. We got Jalen Waddle and Rondale Moore. So you're definitely not going to want to miss that. 2 smaller, quote-unquote, guys, but 2 absolutely studs. Like, so quick, so good after the catch. Can't wait to do that one. So definitely stop by next week for that one. But until next time, we are out.
See ya.
Thank you for stopping by.